Good evening, boys and girls. It's Friday. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. We made it to the end of another week, and my goodness, what a week it has been for the Arsenal Football Club. Dare I say, all hail Mikel Arteta? Hashtag ouch. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. I haven't drank the Kool-Aid. This is a public service announcement. I am here, but let's admit it, our manager's made some big, bold, brave decisions this week, and we're going to wrap it all up with Super Kev's live weekly fan Q&A. And the big man's back in the house, my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies, good to be back. I could tell you that much. We've got plenty to cover, so let's go and at ease and let's get into it.
It's so good to have you back live, Super Kev. Thanks for the videos that you shared with us this week. Some brilliant stuff from you on the sidelines. We shared your interview with Xhaka, looking dapper here. We shared this. Look at that. I love the hanky in that one. And look, right behind you there is Mr. Granit Xhaka as well. You got to speak to him, Fabianski, among many others at the game. Josh and I did have a joke the other day that when you were in front of Xhaka, did you tell him that you wanted him out the club?
Hey, you know, the funny thing, obviously, you've got to be professional, right? Of course, you got to be professional. This is serious stuff. Squaddies, it's serious stuff we're talking about, right? But Adam, who is at Astro, soon as he's just finished and he's walking off, he turns around to me and he says, so Kev, would you have Xhaka as a captain? And so I stopped him. I said, whoa. I said, you know what my feelings are. I don't even want him at the football club. I said, but if he keeps performing like that, I said,
he can stay.
It's okay for him to be in the team at the moment, but I don't even want him at the club. And I'm sure, I don't know if you heard it or not, but you know me, Sophia, I'm telling it straight. I stick to my guns. I'm not just going to flip-flop or nothing. Listen, him and Partey had as a tandem pair, were very good against West Ham. They were good against West Ham. So, you know, they played better as a partnership. And I was worried because I was worried about West Ham playing better and running off Xhaka. Didn't even allow them to do that. Didn't allow them to do it, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Whoa, what's going on here, Artillero? KC, the show is more important than the game. You shall get a red. What are you talking about? Why is Kev getting a red? Please explain. Good evening to all. Thank you, Archangel. I think Newman just told me I look like Snow White. Let me tell you, I'm no Snow White, baby.
That's somebody else. He's thinking of somebody else, I'm telling you. Definitely not ourselves.
Good evening to all the usual.
Gibraltar in the house. Nice.
Gibraltar, we've got Australia. We've got the whole lot, Kev, from all corners of this fine earth. Right. It's a big show tonight. Really big show. Don't forget, you guys, please visit our friends at Football Prizes for
Archangel, thank you.
Let me get some housekeeping out the way and then we'll get stuck into this fine Friday night. Isn't it just so nice when Kev's back? I love it. I absolutely love it. I've already threatened them, Kev. I fancy a yellow card. You know what I mean? There's a yellow card going tonight.
One might be given out already.
Exactly. Taib said he's going to cut my yellow cards in half. Not before I cut you, Taib.
The samurai will come out, yeah.
I did. It's on our channel and it's also on Twitter, Yusuf, but I will definitely put it on. What we're going to try and do is get those videos so we can play them in the show as well. So next time we'll make sure that we get them as well. But it was a great video because Kev actually asked Xhaka if he asked him if the team believe they can get top four. Tell everyone what he said, Kev.
Yeah, the answer was was exactly what we want to hear. You know, I asked him the question: is there a belief in the team, that in the dressing room, that they can get top four? He said if there wasn't a belief, he said there's no point us coming out there. He said he understood that they weren't quite where they wanted to be, but he said there is a belief there and they will improve. So, you know, the dressing room seems to be together. It seems to have a focus about it. And it showed against West Ham, didn't it? You know, we were focused. And I think that was the best 90 minutes of the season. We played for 90 minutes. And
Kev, you were on the side. You've been on the sidelines for a few games this season, Kev, and this was the complete game, wasn't it? This one?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you know what, Sophie? Even when West Ham had their part of the game, because they did have part of the game, they're a good team. They had part of the game. I still thought we were in control, if you know what I mean. I didn't panic at any stage. The only panic moments was our own doing, where, you know, I think Xhaka and Ødegaard passed one across our box, and then there was that Tommy Arsenal headed it, and Ramsdale was running out, and then he went back and got it. But apart from that, Sophie, Ramsdale had a couple of saves or here and there, but it wasn't to say, oh God, you know, they're opening us up. No, we performed really well, and I think that's going to be down to Captain Laka, to be honest with you, because I thought he was absolutely outstanding on the night.
He really was. He was man of the match, even though he missed the penalty, Kev. He was brilliant. He led by example, and it was probably for me one of his best games. He's had really good games, but this one had it all. It had leadership, tenacity, and also, you know, let's not forget that he and Oba are really good friends. But his professionalism. Have you ever heard Lacazette complain or do anything negative since he's been at the club?
I haven't. He's one of these guys. He's a good professional, and he wants to play. He wants to help. You could see, you just know it's in him. That's what the experienced players should be doing. That was a performance of, you know, when we talk about the experienced players have to help the youngsters. That was it. That was it. Give the platform for the youngsters to go and do their thing, but the experienced players do their job. Just do your job. Do your job so the youngsters could go out there, and when the opposition start coming on top, that's when you stand up and you say, not tonight, not today. And you clamp them down and you don't give them much. So I thought it was a really good team, as he said, best of the season so far. Without being incredibly good, Partey weren't incredibly good. He done his job. He was efficient. Xhaka wasn't incredibly good, but was efficient. Played as a pair. Fantastic. Lacazette, for me, was outstanding. He really was. He done a lot of the dirty work. Bought us fouls when he needed to. Held the ball up. Came off into that pocket where defenders don't want to come out of. And you know what, Sophie? For Martinelli's goal, the way he comes off and turns and then slides that ball inside Kufal in between the centre. And listen, let's be honest, Martinelli, he had rocket in his boots, didn't he? He was gone. He was gone. And then that finish, that's that ice cold Thierry Henry-esque finish that we've seen so many times. One chance, one goal. Bang in the bottom corner. Difference maker, Sophie.
He's so special. Like, everyone was talking about him not taking his chances, Kev, but he's taken his chances in these last few games. And we're going to get to your questions in a minute, but and we played the video on Tactical Squad last night as well, with your immediate reaction after being at the game. Can you tell me, like, you're standing right there on the sideline, the team, and we're going to get into this. Let's get into it, because I did want to get this from you, though, from a live point of view. That celebration was just fantastic. The celebrations are cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. They really feel like I'm not saying there hasn't been a togetherness before, because the 4-2 under Emery against Tottenham, that was a massive celebration. But you're caught in the euphoria, and it's a North London derby. And I just think that moment and these moments with these young players and having them experience that is amazing. And seeing that in person must have been pretty cool.
For me, Sophie, I look at this game. It was our most important game of the season, and it was another test for this young side in a very trying week. Let's be honest; it hasn't been easy this week because of obviously what happened with Aubameyang being stripped to the captaincy, etc., etc., etc. You know, we always gets leveled at us, Sophie. It always gets leveled at us. It's Southampton. It's Southampton on Saturday. Okay, it's Southampton. We beat them. Now the big test is West Ham, a team who's beaten this. How many times have I heard it on here? West Ham are a different kettle of fish. They've beaten Liverpool, they've beaten City, they've beaten this, Chelsea, they've done this. Yeah, let's see how you do. Okay. There was only one team in it, and they were lucky to get away with 2-0. One thing I will say, Sophie, there was a togetherness about this team that you can start to feel. We spoke about it before, and even we went through a difficult run. Of course we did. We lost 3 games out of 4, which is a difficult run. But that togetherness is still there. There's still a belief about them, Sophie. And you know who really was the man of the match in the stadium? The 12th man. Arsenal fans in that stadium, Sophie, let me tell you, I've been to the Emirates a few times. That atmosphere was incredible. They never stopped all game. All game. Drowned out the West Ham. Drowned them out. They were incredible, and they kept pushing our boys forward. Look, our home record right now is I think we're second in the table with Man City.
Yeah, we are.
That says a lot. That says a lot. That says now that we've got. Remember, we had this discussion at the end of last season, Soph, and I said fans not being back last year probably hindered us. And you said, well, if it don't go well this season, it could be a curse. But do you remember? Because it could be, because the pressure could be on, of course. But I truly believe our fans really helped the team, and they helped the team the other night. And what a great win. What a really good win.
And it's so refreshing to see the fans go from a stadium that was kind of toxic for a while to, I've been so proud of the home and away fans, especially the away fans this season, Kev. You know, it's not easy traveling, especially up north to some of the games, the trains, the TV schedules. And they've just been absolutely brilliant. And I think we need to give the fans credit. And from all corners of the earth who get up at 2 a.m., 4:30 a.m., and the fans in the stadium, I feel like they carry all of us together in support of this young team that is emerging.
Swedish Gunnar, well said. Well said.
Right. Come on, let's do this.
Let's do it, Soph. Let's do it, because I'm still buzzing, by the way. I am. I'm still buzzing.
I know. I can feel it. I told everyone you called me when you came out the stadium and you were buzzing, and it was just so great to hear. I was telling them you were trying to find your cab, and fans were coming up to you like, Super Kev, Super Kev.
Super Kev, I've got my picture. I'm like, where's my car?
Kev's like, where's the Starbucks? My car's at the
I found it 30 minutes later. So
also, good evening on a Friday night or a Friday afternoon during the holidays. Thank you to all 350 of you in live chat right now. You know what to do.
Smash it, Vin.
Go on,
Smash
Vinny.
it, caress it, nut it. As long as it goes in the back of that light net, we're good.
I like that one. All right, here we go. Also, by the way, this weekend we are recording a first show, the only channel out there to start a goalkeeper show. And our good friend Mike at You Are My Arsenal, who's a goalkeeping coach, is doing his badges, is going to be joining the squad to be part of the Goalkeeper Show, give us his intel. He'll give us breakdowns and reports on Ramsdale and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. You won't want to miss the Goalkeeper Show. Will be airing next week. We're recording it this weekend. And you can follow Mike at You Are My Arsenal, one of the first bloggers, actually, Kev, alongside Arseblog back in the day, who kicked things off as well. So the Goalkeeper Show coming to you courtesy of the Highbury Squad. As you know, we love to bring you different content, and I think that will be fun. Are you seriously, girls gone? There's no porn people in the chat. Are you just messing with me, Newman? Okay, right, we're ready. This is Kevin Says. He's got 3 questions. I told you to come prepared. Here we go.
Squaddies, you know what time it is. Kev says time. Right. No need to mess around. We're getting into it. Question number 1. What happens with Aubameyang? Do we keep or sell? Question number 1.
Well, revelations today, Kev, that he will not be part of the squad against Leeds. He will also not be part of the squad for the foreseeable future. And with AFCON coming up, perhaps Oba has already played his last game for the club. I have not been a fan of Arteta. I sound like a broken record this week saying that, but I support the manager 100% on this issue. So let's start getting everyone's comments. Kev, where did you pull your energy from when you played? Oh, well, we'll get to that bit. We'll get to that a little bit later.
In here, Sam. It's got to be inside.
Generational Martinelli. We're going to get to that a little bit. Right. Sell him, says Archangel. Taib says sell him. Mikey, sounds he's in 2 minds. Bow tie strong. Totally. Move him on, says Sean. Boy says sell Oba. Don't even mess around with it. Archie says bye-bye Oba sell. If we can find a... See now, Kev, when you know a team has a problematic player, it's a bit of a pickle, isn't it, in terms of the marketplace? I know Barcelona are a little bit desperate, but...
Yeah. Do you know what, Sophie? Here's the thing, without going too much into what's going to happen at the roundup. Oba creates a big problem for the football club by this happening. Because if you could free up his wage, that allows you to do multiple things in January. And it creates a lot of space of the wage bill for the summer. But it's what you can get for him, if you can get something for him. Or do you just get him out to free up that wage?
God, I've seen this movie before with a 300.
Exactly.
We know how that ended.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. All right, let's go to some more comments. JS, I love Oba, but he needs a change of air. He's done until after AFCON, says Mo. Rich says sell him ASAP. Adam, sell. Sam, that's up to Aubameyang. He needs to show us what he wants to do. I don't think he's got control, but does he, Kev?
Sophie, I have to answer this because Sam makes a really good point. We discussed before the West Ham game, Aubameyang's silence has said quite a bit to me. The fact that even after the West Ham game, we've heard nothing from Aubameyang, Soph.
We haven't.
Here we are on a Friday doing Kev Says, and we're still questioning, why hasn't Oba spoken? He hasn't spoken because he's not committed, Sophie. I said on Curtis Shaw TV earlier on that he's kept quiet and his agent has come out and his agent's throwing haymakers. His agent's putting pictures of him with the golden boot and FA Cup and all that. Fine. But as an agent and as a representative of a player, when your player's done wrong, what do you have to do? Sometimes you have to mitigate the damage. So come out, say the right things. The XYZ, he hasn't even done that. None of them have done that. So as far as I'm concerned, that puts in my mind that they're thinking elsewhere. I said that before, and even more so now, because normally, that if you're ex-captain or you would say, "Well done to the boys, great win." You would say something. He said nothing.
Nothing. And also, Kev, the other thing too is it's all well and good turning up 90 minutes early for training today. Personally, as a fan, I don't care. Ship has sailed. Why haven't you been doing that previously and leading by example? You're showing up 90 minutes beforehand now. Why? To get sympathy from a certain area of the fan group? No. You made your bed, you lie in it. Too late.
He's probably training with the under 23s.
Well, shame on him.
That's why they were earlier. That's why he had to turn up earlier.
Newman says Oba's damaged goods, get rid, is costing too much. Virginia, hey Virginia, he's unsellable but should be moved on. Is he unsellable, Kev?
It all
in this window?
It all depends who wants him, Soph. It all depends who wants him. Because I'm telling you now, there are still a couple of teams out there who probably could do with him. And are they prepared to wait? Remember, he's one of these players who still can play in Europe. He still can. But that could prove to be, it depends. They can get him for next to nothing if the club really want to sell in the summer. Because I think he's only got 18 months left on his contract. So
I can't see
Aubameyang. He
Aubameyang.
signed a big contract. He's still only got 18 months left of it, I think.
Could you see him going to Newcastle? Somewhere like that, where he'll get the same wages. Like, to me, that seems like a good potential deal.
Sophie, why not? You could go there for the project. You know, go there for the project, no problem whatsoever. Because they are gonna make a huge difference. They're gonna make a dent. They've got the deepest pockets, haven't they? So.
Personally, I think he's ready for LA. I'm not sure he can.
Is he ready for the sunshine? So
I think so. I think so. Interesting one from Earl for you, Kev. Arteta's not our man to take this club forward. We need to show more ambition. Spurs are showing ambition by appointing a top manager. I'm afraid we are going to be left behind. I'm going to hand this over to Earl. All I'm going to say is I've been no fan, but we're fourth right now and we're supposed to be garbage. Kev.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, everybody has their opinion. And maybe, do you know what, Earl? Maybe Arteta isn't our man. But at the moment, we sit in fourth place. And if you'd have said that to the Arsenal fan base on the 17th of December, you are going to be sitting in fourth place with a game against Leeds that probably could propel you 5 points behind Chelsea in third. Would you take it? I would have taken it for 100%, Sophie. Would you have?
I would have told you were crazy.
Right. So for a manager who is much maligned, I get that. And, you know, he's learning on the job and all that. He seems to be doing a bit better than he was last season. So,
definitely,
you know, when we were flirting with 12th and 10th and all that, remember the outrage of the fan base. Now we're fourth. He's still not taking us forward. Sorry, Earl, I don't get it. But ultimately, we will see at the end of the season.
Exactly. Long way to go yet. I'll fire through some of these. Brady's Banana, sell please, January if possible. Akram says if we sell, it will be a big relief. Totally. Exchange him for De Jong, Barcelona, quality CM. Ooh,
swap. Could we have a swap?
I like it.
Could we have a swap with that? That would be a good swap.
Kev, a lot of fans are speculating that this has got a lot more to do than just lateness. I mean, it doesn't have to be this kind of crazy story that maybe is happening behind the scenes. Can it not just be that he's just been poor discipline-wise over and over again? I think everyone's looking and searching for wow,
one thing. No, it's a it's an accumulation of things. Because, you know, we done a show on Tuesday, Sophie, before the West Ham game, and we discussed, this isn't just Mikel Arteta making this decision. This has to come from upstairs as well, because the captain is the face of the football club.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot take these things lightly.
Right.
And a decision was made that Mikel Arteta had to administer for the good of the football club. So it's not just a matter of him turning up late once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
That was obviously the straw that broke the camel's back, especially with COVID protocol, etc., going on at football clubs.
Exactly.
You can't mess with that. Look what's happening now. You know,
Yep.
you just can't mess with that. So it's one of those things, and he's had to get reprimanded, and
Yep.
rightly so.
Agree. Matt Roberts, hope he lights up AFCON so we can sell him in January if AFCON happens. That is not a guarantee right now. Kevin Joseph, welcome to the show. Oba, sad to say, is finished. Craig says, well, it's clear to me that Aubameyang is finished at Arsenal Football Club. Mikey, man is making power moves once again. Winston says, sell ASAP, create a toxic environment. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I said this time last year, January was one of our greatest ever transfer windows. Unfortunately, fiscally, it was not, but mentally, in the dressing room, it was, Kev, sweeping the broom and getting rid of those toxic players. And maybe it's that time again to kind of remove the Wenger and Emery era once and for all from the club so we can move forward.
You might be right there, Soph. And, you know, it's one of those things that, as a manager, I'm sure you will get around to it eventually. But sometimes the clock gets put forward. You know, the timing is if the timing's right now, you've got to do it.
Yeah. Anik says, as long as we don't have to pay his stupid salary, we should seriously consider selling him. Do you think there's a potential loan, Kev, where a club will pick up the majority of his salary, a player of his ilk?
Yeah, there's that as well. There is always that which can happen. But I just think, listen, for me, if Oba had come out and said, listen, I've messed up. I haven't been playing well. My form's been poor. But you know what? I'm committed to the Arsenal. I am committed to Arsenal. I will prove myself. I'll get back on the training ground. I'll put the work in because I've still got a big part to play. No problem. But Sophie hasn't done that.
No, he
hasn't done that.
It's poor.
You know, and this was
really
part
poor.
of my thing at the end. He hasn't done that. So for me, he wants out. So if you can loan him, whichever way, shape, or form, you just don't want a player like him not being committed around these youngsters.
No.
You don't.
And I wondered, like, for me, a lot of the times it's happened in my career where I've looked up to someone and they've done something so unprofessional where I'm like, wow, what a letdown. I never thought that. You know, I never thought they'd be that person, or I never thought they'd do that. And that does happen. And that's what you don't want. You know, you don't want those youngsters losing faith, Kev. Grandpa Saurus says, Oba out, really sorry to say he is class, but Xhaka came back. But Xhaka's work, okay. Xhaka's, in my opinion, the reason why Xhaka has 9 lives at Arsenal is because he works hard. You know, I don't think he ever said he was sorry, Kev, because he felt like his family were abused and there was this whole other plethora of things that built around him. And I'm not making excuses for Xhaka by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a reason why so many managers have trusted him. You know? I
could guarantee you, Granit Xhaka ain't late. I could guarantee you that. But again, it's with the experienced players, Sophie. And you know, I don't even want Granit Xhaka at the club. But the fact of the matter is, he comes out of nowhere, he plays.
Mm-hmm.
I said it the other night, and maybe some people didn't. He gives us better balance beside Thomas Partey. Defensively, he does. He gives us better balance. And it proved it against West Ham, especially. Yeah. Okay. But is he more talented than Lokonga? No, I don't think he is. I think Lokonga's a better player. But experience and, you know, playing as a 2, He's got more experience in the Premier League, so that's why the manager will trust him.
Also,
For
Kev,
me,
we have a
sorry.
long-term plan, but we have a short-term goal this season, and that is to get back into Europe.
Yes.
And I think that's why we're seeing a little bit more of him. I'm going to fire some of these at you so we can move on to question number 2. He thinks Yokol thinks it's more to him than being late. 777 says if you can be of use, if you can't be of use self and show some respect and stay punctual, then he should go. Mark says give him away. Mikey says sell. Great Gunnar Chapman said he's disrespected the club. So they've both got to go. I think that's a problem for a lot of fans, Kev. Lucas says keep him. Tell us why. Swedish Gunnar, sell Oba on those wages. Who would buy him? I'm afraid we're having a new Ozil situation. Very true. Sell to the Turkish Super League along with the other has-beens. Harvey says depends if he wants to fight for a place. That's what kind of Kev was saying. Mo says, thank you, Oba, bye-bye. Tammy says he should leave before the manager breaks him. Dublin Gunnar. Hey, Newcastle, we have a 32-year-old out-on-form striker with disciplinary problems and outrageous wages. Yours for 20 million. All right, I'll keep putting your messages up. And in the meantime, all 500 of you in live chat, hit that like button if you love Gabriel Martinelli. And if you love Super Kev. Here we go, question number 2.
Kev says question number 2. Can you see the team starting to gel together now? Question 2.
Well, out of adversity comes strength. I think the thing I've been impressed with the most, which is why it pained me to put the picture up that I did. Super Kev.
I love it so.
I think he's shown for the first time management, right? Now, I'm not comparing him to these managers, so please just hear my bit out and then I'll get to you guys, right? Sir Alex Ferguson was so successful because he was able to be ruthless and he moved with the football times. Now, I'm not comparing Mikel to him. Please don't, take that. He kicked out Jaap Stam. He kicked out David Beckham, right? We even saw Brendan Rodgers try to kind of embarrass Raheem Sterling back in the day, but it did give Raheem Sterling a kick up the arse to become a better player, right? And I don't think it matters whether you have 20 years experience in the league or you have 2 years experience in the league. You have to be able to show strength and make decisions because your responsibility is to the club, not to the player. Your responsibility is to get the best out of the players for the club. And for me, I think that Arteta making the decision he did, the Monday and Tuesday being tumultuous, him having to talk to this young side and getting them on board, Kev, and clearly the issue is brewing from Southampton, let's be honest, right? Mm-hmm. And previously. So the fact that he's been able to manage the team and have them believe and get that result against Southampton, I thought that was huge. And I think they are together. I think that they're building something, and I do believe the new DNA and culture of the players of Ramsdale and Tomiyasu and Ben White and Gabriel, and even goes far back, I say as far back, but with Kieran Tierney, Thomas Partey, the young players being there, understanding, being part of Arsenal Football Club, what it means, the Haylen boys, Martinelli coming in, having to fight for his position, overcome adversity with injury. Somehow, you got to give the manager credit, tastes like vinegar, for building and bringing them together. So that's my opinion.
That's a good summary, to be honest. Really good summary. Do you want me to do what you do and you do my bit at the end? Because that was a good summary.
Look, I'm gonna. They say stop comparing. What do you mean stop comparing? We're not. I mean,
Not saying that
Football's
he is them, but
right.
things have to be dealt. Decisions have to be made. I think is the point I take from what you said is the best managers have decisions to make, and they make them. That is the key. We know Arteta's learning on the job. We know that. We said it all along that now he won't have. There's no way out this season, Sophie. He's either going to sink or swim. This is his team now. Remember,
Yes.
this is his squad now. So decisions that come up have to be made. And let's be brutally honest there, Sophie. If Arsenal would have lost a couple of games,
Oh,
could you imagine? Could you imagine what?
oh
Look
yeah.
what he's doing. He's messed the dressing room up. They don't respect him. He's lost this. He's lost that. Da, 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 da. But as I said in the question, can you see the team squad gelling now? Because that West Ham game was a real dicey moment for us. If it went against us,
The sky would have been falling and the shit would have hit the fan, let's be honest, and everyone would have lost their marbles.
Sophie, it creates more problems for us. But the fact that the team had their best performance against a buoyant West Ham side, London derby and all that, I think that reflects really well on these players that they can take the hit, understand what's going on, refocus, and get the job done, Soph. That's important.
Exactly. Sam says he's hitting the like button because he can't believe he's getting this fantastic content for free. Thank you, Sam. Nor says, yes, 100%. We're coming together. Stefan is Mr. Negative tonight. That's okay. Tell us why, Stefan. Alan says, absolutely. Kudis Callus, that's the Aubameyang. He says, loan him out. Let's see. Anik says, no, we've seen enough false dawns, still haunted by United and Everton games. I see what you're saying. We're talking about the team coming together. Even in those losses, I don't think it's because the team was disjointed or not on the same page together. I think the manager was a bit culpable in the Manchester United game for sure. And for some reason against Everton, we just were so poor. We didn't show up. Matty K says, yes, big time, Kev. Taib, another negative Matty
K, good to see you in the house.
Yeah. He's back. He's missing California already, Super Kev.
I don't blame you, Matty.
The team will slide into 8th like gel, Taib. It's cruising this one this week.
Do you know what, Sophie? You can't say it's possible. Of course it's possible. And we're not getting above our station at all.
No.
But you know what? Fortune favors the brave, Sophie.
Yes.
And like some of my team talk at the end for this one was going to be, got to win that game tomorrow and be looking up, not down. Don't look behind you. Look who's in front of you.
Can't be beating West Ham in the manner in which we did and then going to Ellen Road and losing. Our away form needs to improve. So I get it. There's a lot to do with it. But the question is this team starting to gel together? Kev isn't talking about winning the title or finishing top 4. He's talking about the team coming together. Yeah. Harrison says 100% yes. The new signings have really added nicely to Saka and ESR. Mascamera says the team will die for each other. Ryan Youngblood, Detroit Gooner, 100%. They're starting to gel together, especially the young lads. Fred says no. If you're going to say no, then tell us why. Gel like my hair, yes. I think that's in response to Taib. So if Aubameyang showed up 90 minutes early today, did he need that long? Exactly. Mike says absolutely. Adam says too early, need consistency. Kev,
no.
Is this about results? It's not about results, is it?
Exactly. It's not about results or anything. I'm on about the togetherness of the squad. Because let's be honest, Smith Rowe even being on the bench could have been a potential.
Yeah, pickle.
I'm the top scorer of the club. And here I am on the bench. But nothing. No ego. comes on and does the business. They're gelling together, the togetherness. There's new players. There's some experienced players who we've let's be honest, we've had a go at, to be honest, Sophie, because they haven't been doing their bit. And rightly so, they haven't been doing their bit. And there's players who have been out in the cold who are now coming in and making a difference. So is the gelling of it is, can you see it coming together? And I've got to say, I can see it coming together. I really can.
What do you say to Great Gunnar Chapman, who I think brings up a good point, Kev? Our home form is so good. Our away form isn't. Why is that? Do you remember under the latter part of Wenger's era and Emery, our away form was rubbish. Emery improved it a little bit, but there's been this thing. And then when Arteta came in, our away form improved and our home form suffered. Why do you think we're suffering away from home then, Kev?
One is where it's a new squad. The experience of knowing what to do, a bit of know-how. That's the other question. Adam, the presenter for Astro, asked Granite. He said, at home you're second in the league, but away from home you're 12th. And just like we discuss on here, Sophie, about understanding what you have to do away from home. Sometimes you just have to sit in there for 10 minutes and quell the crowd and stop the opposition, and then you move on, you kick them from there. Granit Xhaka said something. He said, we have to be smarter away from home. And Adam said, what does smarter mean?
Clever. I said, he said clever.
Yeah, clever. And because I say smarter, he says clever. So understanding how you manage the game, understanding where you make your fouls, understanding how you approach the game, how you lock up the opposition, how can you turn a crowd against the home team. Yeah. All of these things you have to know.
Yeah.
The Everton game, for instance, Arsenal could have been smart and really turned the home crowd against them. But what did they do? They didn't. They kept sitting back and letting Everton come and press them. That's what gets the home fans going. So it's just a bit of clever, smarts, knowing, understanding, but it's still a new group, Sophie, that is gelling together. And it's easier to gel when you got that superb fan base behind you at home.
Exactly. And
they're not quite ready yet. They're not quite ready to roll them sleeves up and have that away support with them and take on everyone else just yet. But we get in there.
Yeah. Also, I took clever from Xhaka to mean we need a little bit more shithousery. There was a bit of a glint in his eye when...
Oh, yeah. Well, you've seen it. You could see it.
When he said that. Dejan says, yes, Kev, he stopped chopping and chat. I left this up because I thought it was important. We've always wanted Arsenal over the years to have a solid starting 11 and knowing when they're not starting, who are your backups, who are your true backups. And I think this is really important because as well as I do, Kev, even better than I do, when you have a best 11 and it just helps familiarity, style, execution,
continuity, understanding, togetherness, knowing somebody's game, understanding, little nuances of a player. For instance, Paul Merson, when he played on the left, he would go. As soon as he comes inside, then you've got to understand where you make your run, understanding what his capabilities are. Because if you make a run, Sophie, and he can't pass the ball, it's no point you making a run.
Right.
So you are understanding all the capabilities. And remember, all these players have come together now, and they don't really know each other's game. They're learning each other's game. That's why they're gelling together.
Yeah.
And, from that last point that was put up about the defense, that comes from the defense. The defense have been the one real constant 5. And you could swap Kieran Tierney's played the last couple of games, and you could do that. But they have been as solid for the majority as we've had in a long time. So
and as Sean says, partnerships are starting to form. Avon says, I think we're seeing clearly who might not fit anymore. As much as who fits now, this is a great point. Who may not fit anymore? Terence says there's no room for clowns at the Arsenal. Ryan says chemistry takes time. New back four and goalkeeper, moving out the attacker, 5 midfield. We're better structurally. Stefan wants me to stop smoking because I credited Arteta. People can't take it when I give credit. You guys love it, some of you, when I rip him a brand new one and I criticize him. But when I give him credit, you can't handle it. Well, I can't. I can handle it. May taste like vinegar, but I'm sorry. I'm just going to say what I see. That's all. Rich says, yes, it's gelling because we have a dependable back five. And that is the tune from a lot of people. Birds doing birds things. Good evening, Kenya. Oh, don't underestimate where Kev's been.
No, I've not been to Kenya just yet.
Oh,
but
well done. You got it right.
Yeah, I've not been to Kenya. I've been all over Africa, but not Kenya. But who knows? You never know what's coming.
Exactly. Let's get some more of these comments up. Craig wants consistency. Universal Greek says he can see the defense gelling together. We need another summer transfer window to complete the midfield forwards. We also need European football. I think if we get European football and we can bring in some top shelf players, you guys, holy cow, anything is possible. Best backline in over a decade. Completely agree with Alex there. I said that we would gel this season under Super Mikel Arteta. He'll be a great manager here or somewhere else, says Jeff. Sam says, I can see the team starting to gel. I'll be fully convinced by consistency home and away. This Oba incident also shows that the team is behind the manager. That's what I said earlier. I tell you, they wouldn't have performed like that against West Ham if there was major problems at the club. We've seen this T-shirt before as Arsenal fans. Not only have we've seen this T-shirt, we've seen this movie, we've worn the T-shirt, we've drunk from the mug. We've been there. Let's see. I get Soph's point exactly. Arteta is the boss and will make the tough calls for the good of the team. Yeah, true enough.
Has to. Yep, has to. Has to make the tough call.
Okay.
Has to.
Let's
and
see.
It's worked out. And it's worked out. That's the key.
I'll give you a boot to the head in a minute, Taib. Swedish Guna, I've been seeing it most of part of the season. We only lack in small bits. Give it time and this squad will start contending for titles. Ooh, very ambitious there from Swedish Guna, who was wondering what kind of beanie I would wear if I was in Sweden. He's wondering why I'm wearing a beanie in California. Let me tell you, it was colder here yesterday and the day before than it was in further up north in the US and also in parts of the UK. It was insane. Tide says it's a great question, Kev. This is not only a team together, but it has lots of players fans like. Yes, our team has not been likable for a long time. I loved Alexis Sanchez, Kev. Who didn't?
Yeah, he was brilliant.
He was brilliant, right? And of course, towards the end, he became unlikable. Then once he played that piano for Man United, it was over. But Martinelli, Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, Ramsdale, Gabriel, Tierney, Tomiyasu. Take your pick. For the first time, fans have a bit of a pickle as to who to put on the back of their shirt when they buy it.
And
amazing.
That wasn't a problem. That was a problem before. Now it's not a problem to have somebody you like. What a great problem to have. Who do I choose?
Crazy, isn't it?
That's what we want. So that's what we've needed. We've needed a likable team. We've needed a team who go out there and put themselves on the line for the football club.
Kev, can you answer this? Can you answer this for me?
Of course.
Because this is the thing that drives me nuts. Okay. I don't know how many times I need to say it. I report and provide opinions on what I see. Why is a positive comment about the manager flip-flopping? Kev, can you answer this for me, please?
Again,
if you can.
I think Fred has just taken on board stuff you've said previously to say you are Arteta out, you don't like the manager. So whenever you say something nice about the manager that the manager's got right, he's not accepted it. Well, do you know what, Fred? Too bad. Because the manager has got this one right. He has got this one right. And listen, Sophie and I battle all the time over certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But when people get things right, what are you supposed to do? Not say nothing because you're against the manager? That's not a very smart host, is it? That's not a very smart host.
I don't have an agenda I don't have an agenda. I never have and I never will. I want what's best for my club. And if you can't be happy, the fact that he's getting a tune out of this team right now, and, you know, we beat West Ham, a team that everyone has been lauding for how long, you know, it's kind of crazy to me that I'm never, ever just going to want my team to fail just because I want my point or my opinion to be right. Never, ever going to happen. Never.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really, really important. Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep putting your comments up, and we're going to get to the last question here from Super Kev, and then he's going to give us his rundown. So I'll shoot through these. Great dialogue tonight. Stick with us, all 550 of you in live chat.
Come on.
This
Give
Friday.
me 275. Come on. It, not it like it, as long as it's in that like net. 275. Come on.
Question number 3 in the bonus. How do you think the manager has handled the pressure the last week? How do you think the manager has handled the pressure? So I'll recap. Number 1, what happens with Oba? Do we keep or sell or just get rid? Number 2, can you see the team starting to gel now? And number 3, how do you think the manager has handled the last week, the pressure of the last week? It's been a difficult week, and we sit 4th. So what do you think? Anyway, I don't even need to say it. I don't know Brock no next in the chat. I don't know Brock no next on the video. We've had a good week. We've got a massive game coming up. Squaddies, you know the script. Behave yourselves. Take good care. Look after yourself. Bye.
I love it. Newman's trying to wind you up in the chat right now. Terence wants you to brock his neck, for sure. So let's just get straight to the comments on this one. I think I've given my 2 cents. In the meantime, let's do brock some necks. Make sure you behave, Newman. The book is right here.
What is he giving it? Because I obviously I don't look at the.
He said that I don't have an agenda, but you do.
Yeah, hey, Sophie, he's right. I do have an agenda, but
what is
my
it?
agenda isn't about Arsenal. My agenda is not about Arsenal. I've got an agenda somewhere else, but not about Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what's happening here. Gift wrapped. It's Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. We're going to have a special Christmas show as well. I mean, we're going to do it all here on the Highbury Squad. Okay, let's get to some comments. Mr. Youngblood. God, I love that movie with Rob Lowe. That was a great movie. He's handled the pressure well, especially when your star player captain is ruining your team. Think about this. He's a young manager, but he somehow, I never thought that he would have the credibility to do this. And I think he's surprised a lot of Arsenal fans because somehow he's earned the credibility from his players to do this. And I do believe it's because there's a new team and new players in place. Mm-hmm. Emery couldn't do this. He tried. Mm-hmm. And trust me, we have it on good authority that he tried. Emery wanted Ozil gone.
Yeah, to break them up, yeah.
And he couldn't brock them up, Kev. He couldn't.
He couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't brock them up. They were too strong. Yeah.
And he never had an ado. He never had that support. Jeff says he's been class. Arteta is a true gent and oozes class. Come on, you Gunners. Arsenal granny. Oh, we love that. If you really are an Arsenal granny, you've got to come on the show quite well. Teng1 says it was a massive test of his managerial ability, in my opinion. Completely agree with you. Completely. Andy says we sit 6th when games are played. Let's relax a bit. Okay, stop with the position in the table. That we will judge at the end of the season. All right. And if we finish 8th and we don't qualify for Europe, Mikel Arteta has to go. This is his chance to build something and get us back into Europe. So don't misconstrue what's happening now. We don't know what's going to, we can't look into our crystal football and say, okay, in May, X, Y, and Z. We can give our opinion and predict, but we're talking about today, now, this week. This was a landmark week for him as a manager. Public says, good but hard question. Taib says, I don't like Arteta, so accept it, Matty. Okay. The handling couldn't have been better under the circumstances. Arteta's been like cool hand Luke this week. Yep. Mikey says, say Brucked. I think he managed it well. I see signs of George Graham in Arteta. He was ruthless this week. Absolutely ruthless. Look at Craig. I'm Arteta out, but with the Aubameyang situation, he had no choice to do what he did. Upgrade on Xhaka and a decent striker in January. Okay, we'll talk about that later, Arsenal Manic. Arteta's made a lot of rookie mistakes, but he handled this like an experienced manager. Well said, GD.
Well said, GD. Yeah.
Well Newman's claiming he's not trying to wind you up. Now he's lying. Leeds are struggling to put a team out. Well, I hope this game goes ahead. We're heading into really tricky waters, you guys. UG says the manager has kept his dignity when he was clearly upset about Oba's behavior. Say what you want about Arteta. He's class. Right, Kev, I'm going to keep putting these comments up so you can give your response. A couple more for you. Arteta learn from the best. You either follow the rules or you are out. This is the part, I think, where he's learned from Pep. Not Wenger, Pep. All right, Kev. I'll keep putting these up for you from everyone. Keep those comments coming in, you guys. Brilliant stuff from the squaddies in the chat tonight. Kev says your answer to your first question.
Yeah, answer to my first question. Aubameyang, what do we do with him? Do we keep him or sell him or what? My wholehearted feeling about Aubameyang is how Aubameyang acts determines what we do as a football club. Now, the fact of the matter is he's been stripped of the captaincy, Sophie. It's been done. He deserved to get stripped of the captaincy for his behavior. Now the issue is Aubameyang committed to the Arsenal Football Club? That is the big question. Forget the manager. Is he committed to the Arsenal Football Club who pays his wages? And for me, at this present moment in time, he is not committed to Arsenal. He is not. So that's why he's nowhere near the team at the moment. That's why he won't be around the team until after the Africa Cup of Nations. Will he still be at the club after the Africa Cup of Nations? I'm not so sure. Because if there's an issue and the team start to do a little better than they were, there seems to be that togetherness, that gelling, which I'm going to get to in question 2. Then Aubameyang, all of a sudden, is the odd man out, Sophie. He's a fantastic striker when he's on form. We know that. He has carried the club for 2 seasons. We know that. He shot us to FA Cup glory, Sophie. We know that. But right now is where you need your captain to step up, and he couldn't do that. In fact, Sophie, he made life more difficult for the manager in this team by his behavior. So, as far as I'm concerned, the manager is looking at what is Aubameyang like. What is his attitude like? You remember I spoke about Pepe. Let's see what his attitude is like in training. Let's see what Aubameyang's attitude is. Now he's been stripped of the captaincy. And his attitude is nowhere. That's why he's not around the squad no more, Sophie. And that's why, ding, 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 he's going to be gone. Because he's not committed to Arsenal. He is not.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting, Kev, because what you just said there, sometimes when someone's toxic, you need to remove them from a situation entirely before that toxicity spreads, which is what I think happened under previous regimes. Too soft a management, enabling too much and allowing that to fester and spread. And the power was with the players.
Mhm.
And I think that's why Arteta also likes a young team. Mark said something interesting. He thought that Arteta came across cocky in his presser when Ian Abrams from TalkSport was asking him a question. I think that was today. He needs to be careful. 2 results doesn't make you a man,
He
yet
knows
as a
that, so
manager.
come on.
I
Sophie,
think
come
he
on. He
does.
knows
But
that.
yeah.
When you look at it, 2 games ago, Sophie, we were on a run of 3 defeats in 4 games. He's understanding the helter-skelter life of a manager at Arsenal Football Club, because the pressure was mounting on him yet again. He understands that. That comes with the territory, Sophie. But the fact of the matter is, Sophie, if you have players who toe the line, it's one less thing to worry about. You shouldn't have to be worrying about players not being on time and not and having to make special dispensation for them. Why should you? They don't dictate to the football club. The football club dictate to the player.
I mean,
I've been around, Sophie. Arsenal treat their players the best. Let me tell you.
You and Jack Wilshere, if you missed that episode, it's pinned to the top of our profile.
Sophie, Arsenal treat their players as the best. So when a player does something like this, to me, no. Arsenal ain't doing anything to harm the player. They're only doing things to enhance. Only ever. They do what's best for the players. So, Aubameyang, you've put this on yourself. You've put this on yourself. You haven't come out. You haven't said how committed you are to the football club. You've just kept quiet. And that silence says to me, you want out. So, that's the thing. He will be gone. Unless he comes out and he says, look, I'm really committed. But, after all this time, it could be forced upon him to say it. Whereas really, if it's genuine, you say it at the time, don't you? You say it at the time. I'll take my punishment, but I'm committed. But we hear nothing.
I mean, it should have been like, instead of his rep or his brother or whoever it was that came out, that should have been him sending a video saying, or through his reps, I'm sorry, I've made some mistakes, and a lot of people keep, like Piers Morgan, this guy going and getting on his high horse and talking about the disgusting, disgraceful behavior. Meanwhile, how many Arsenal players has he ripped to shreds and said horrible things about?
He's blocked me, Soph.
Has he? Well done, Super Kev. Your legendary status just went up.
I love it, Soph. I love it. I love it. Piers is a gooner, but you know what? I don't see eye to eye with him. And it was something about the racism that he blocked me on, because he was going on with himself he was trying to tell black people about racism.
I mean,
incredible.
Come on.
But anyway, I don't want to get away from that.
Everyone keeps talking about Xhaka. Did Xhaka apologize? Apologies come in different ways, you guys. It's not okay. I defended Xhaka for a long time, and I agree that Arteta needs to do better about how he treats everybody equally. Xhaka's apology was to his teammates and him showing behind the scenes in training and his commitment to the club.
He's committed to the club.
You guys all pissed him off. That's why he's not.
I don't listen. I've said it, and I'll say it again, Sophie. I don't want him at the club for what he done. For me, and maybe it's just my way, is unacceptable. All right, it's unacceptable for me to do that to the fan base. That's me. Do I accept that he's playing in the team? And all? Of course, I have to. I can't not. He's there. He's playing, and I have to be professional in my professional life. But the fact of the matter is, Aubameyang's captain, and All he needs to do is say, I'm committed to the football club. He hasn't got to apologise to us for what's gone on.
But also, Kev, he's beloved. He was the most popular Arsenal player. We've loved Xhaka.
You love Xhaka. Hey, you don't put me in your boat. Having me row the boat. Forget all that.
I stood up for him when I met him in LA. I said, look, guys, calm down. I can see why Emery made him captain. I can see why Wenger made him captain. But after a while on this show, what did I say? I can't defend him any longer. You can't. And I ripped Arteta a brand new one for not being able to manage Guendouzi better, Torreira better, Mavropanos better, Saliba. That is not a talent issue. That's a character issue, in my humble opinion. So even though I can look at each case differently, but absolutely when you're the captain of Arsenal Football Club and you're the most beloved player and he's entrusted you, it's wrong. And Xhaka was wrong too. Absolutely, Xhaka was wrong. And I said, what did I say in the summer? Don't go flirting with Mourinho and tell me Rome's a beautiful city. Piss off. I didn't want him to stay. I thought it was terrible the club offered him a new contract and improved money. So that is something Arteta needs to figure out and work on. Absolutely 100%. The difference is that dude somehow is professional behind the scenes and he has the respect of Wenger and Emery and Arteta. As a fan, no.
And the players.
And the players.
And the players.
So I hope that answers your question about where I stand on Xhaka. Ask Kev. I tried to defend him for so long. And in the end, I couldn't defend him any longer. I just couldn't. Do I want him standing on the sidelines and being the spokesperson when Kev's doing broadcasting and he's the spokesperson? No. I'd rather it was Gabriel, but maybe Gabriel's English needs to improve. I want it to be Tierney. Why is it Xhaka? Teflon, there's a reason. I don't know why. I don't.
Well, can I just add a little bit to that? You get different players offered every time. So that might be Xhaka's time. The next one might be Lacazette. Ramsdale might be there because Martinelli done a couple of interviews, obviously because he'd scored and then he went in and then Xhaka came out, etc. It's all a little bit different to how it was, you know.
We can't have double standards, Kev. He's got to treat.
True.
Right.
Well, Sophie, like I keep saying, if you're an experienced player, you get a little bit more leeway because you've seen it, done it. You've done the dance. Young players, you try and keep them as rigid as you can because they're learning from the experienced players, but you still need that discipline in them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're all part of the same group, but all are not the same size. Yeah, all are not the same size. You're part of the same group, but all are not. And that's why Aubameyang being the biggest size, he's the biggest one. He's the biggest star. When he falls off the top, then it's definitely a learning moment for the rest of the squad, the young players in the squad. But what have they done? And this is getting into number 2 now. Can you see this team starting to gel? Of course.
Sorry, Kev. They all think I love Xhaka.
No, but you did. You said you love him, but you can't defend him on. No, you don't love him.
I meant to say Oba.
You like him. No, I know you love Oba, but
go on, Kev.
And stuff like that. But do I see the team gelling? Yes, I do see this team gelling. I see the team have gone through the adversity. Remember, we got smacked at Anfield. We got beaten at Old Trafford when we really should have taken that game. And then we go to Goodison Park and we get beat in the last second against an Everton side where really we could have come away with 3 points, even though we played crap. And that was our feeling. Pressure was back on. And, can we respond? You leave Oba out. Things happen. Oba's not involved. You beat Southampton. And then the big test was against West Ham. A rival. Win and you go above them. We win and we went above them. So do I see this team gelling? 100% I see them gelling. Are we where we need to be? Of course we're not. Because you know why? We don't have the squad yet. We don't have the experienced players throughout that team that we need, because still the youngsters are carrying the team, Sophie. The youngsters are carrying the team. And when the experienced players do turn up and do their job, you get a performance like West Ham. That's what happens. So, listen, I am optimistic about what's to come. I think this could be a really, really interesting January transfer window, Sophie. And if we can make the right moves, I think this is the key. We can make the right moves. We can move correctly in 2022 and challenge for that 4th spot. That's what we want. Now we're here. We don't want to look back, so we want to look forward. And if we can get the right couple of players in, or few players, whether loan or sign them, we really need to be looking up, not back. Because somebody put in the chat, if all goes there, we're going to be 6th. No, they've still got games to play. Who say that they're going to win the games? I'd much rather have the points in the pocket. And you know what, Sophie? It's a great opportunity for us tomorrow, for this team. Show us how much you're gelling. Go to Ellen Road and beat them. Just win the game. Get another 3 points on and keep us up there. Just keep us up. Let's grow that gap between some of the rest. And let's be looking, because you know what? Chelsea are starting to pop their little... The target on Chelsea's back is starting to get bigger. We're getting closer.
And what's everyone saying about Everton? We lost to Everton and they got a point, a well-earned point, played their best game against Chelsea. This is a very strange season, you guys.
Very strange.
And it's going to continue to be strange.
Take points off. But I think the team are gelling. And getting to point number 3, Sophie. How do you think the manager has handled the pressure and the difficult situation of the last week or so? I think he's proven that he's a competent manager. That's what I think he's proven. Because maybe that's what Aubameyang was banking on. Maybe Aubameyang was banking on, if he takes me on, he will lose. Because he knows the fan base is split with the manager. But what Aubameyang doesn't understand is when he tries to do stuff like that, he doesn't only take on Mikel Arteta, he takes on the club and the fan base. Some of the fan base, of course, love the player. That the player can do anything and, oh, he's all right. But a lot of us older crew, Sophie, who understand, who've seen a lot of this stuff, no, Oba, you can't do that. You can't, you're the captain, you're the standard bearer. You can't go and do what you're doing and expect the manager to sweep it under the carpet. Maybe like what Arsene Wenger done, because he likes to keep that, softly steady ship. No, Mikel Arteta went, no, listen, you're out. You're out. And you're putting that on my watch because it's going to reflect badly on me as a manager. Strip him of the captaincy. Don't let him anywhere near the club and near the team until he comes out and he says, I'm committed. That's what a real manager does. Let's see how committed he is. And he's not committed. That's why he's nowhere near the first team, Sophie. So well done, Mikel Arteta, on this one. Listen, whether you're the man to take us to the promised land or not is irrelevant. On this situation, I think you've handled it perfectly.
It made me jump. You made everyone's TV shook, laptop, mobile, boom.
No, but that's how it happens, Sophie. Because when you're speaking to people, it's all nice and nice, and then you got to shake them and say, listen, listen here. What do you think you're doing? I give you special dispensation to go and visit your mother. Only want the best for your mum. But look, you're the captain. You've got to be back on time, and you're not back on time. I'm not having it. So I'm not having it. And as fans, we shouldn't have it either from our captain. No chance. So, again, I believe the manager dealt with it in the right and proper way.
Oh
And
my God.
this is the way I've been brought up on it. If you've done wrong, hold your hands up, accept it, move on with commitment. Problem is, Aubameyang can't move on with commitment, but it looks like this club has already moved on.
Kev, you're going to have to do that once a week at least. It's like that was like a Michael Bay disaster movie where I'm like, whoa, it's an earthquake.
Listen, it's like honestly, Sophie, I am still buzzing from that game and performance and the feeling from Wednesday. It was such an important game for us, Sophie. It really was. And the way we won it, the performance, and we let them off a bit light, beating them 2-0. It should have been 3 or 4, if we're honest. And this is a team who has beaten Liverpool, beaten this, and we know there's injuries there. And we've got things that ain't right in our team, people like that. But nobody goes against our football club, Soph. Not even Aubameyang. Big player that he is, and I love him because he's strikers union. But you do not do that. You don't do that. And the manager was right to reprimand him, strip him of the captaincy. And now, this is where you find out about the player. And we've heard nothing.
Sorry,
my wife is giddy. What's all this?
Because yesterday, when
Holy
you sent
moly.
us everyone yesterday was wondering why you were whispering on the video. And I explained to everyone that it was 2:00 in the morning. You just finished work after like a 24-hour day and you couldn't wake up the hotel room doing your, I mean, it would have been bad. So you got Brady's banana wife all going right now. And everyone in the chat wants you in the dressing room or back as Arsenal captain. It's all happening, Kev.
No, but that's a little bit of how it happens in a football club. That's because it goes from 0 to 100 in a split second. That's the way, because it's got to shake you. It really's got to get your attention. It's got to get your attention, and I believe Mikel Arteta got Aubameyang's attention now. He don't like it. But Mikel Arteta done well dealing with that pressure.
There's no way he didn't give him opportunities. There's no way that we're not anti-Oba squad. You know what? Go back and watch previous shows. Super Kevin Campbell has stood by Aubameyang forever.
Strikers union.
Ever.
So
I've been wanting him stripped of the striker of the captaincy since the North London derby. Super Kevin Campbell has always said to me, you play your best players. He may not be scoring, but as a striker, I'm telling you, it will come. I've been through this. He has stood by him, name blocked. So don't you tell me that this is an anti-Oba squad. This is a pro-Arsenal squad. Don't make him bang the desk again. You don't want your TV screen shaking one more time.
Name block. Don't ramp with me, Don't ramp with me. I'm broke in there. I'll start. Don't get me going. Because this to me, Sophie, broke it up. And again, broke it up. Sophie, this to me is such an important part of what was wrong at the club. And that needs to be eradicated from our football club. We don't need issues like this in our football club. No. Aubameyang, stick to doing what you do. Get back to scoring goals. That's what you're great at. You are great at scoring goals. But you haven't been the player that you were. You have messed up. You messed up. Not the club, not Arteta. You have messed up. So take your punishment. Say that you committed and let's move forward. But you can't do that at the moment. Why can't you do that? Because there's something going on somewhere else.
Kev, also the thing listen, we're giving you radio show hours tonight. It's like we're 2 days without live Kev. This is what you guys get for Kev Says. Soak it up, inject it. Okay. Here's the scoop. How long have we all complained about the weak source management, the weak source players, the mentality, the culture, the DNA's dead. Where's our Arsenal? You know, the problem has been the product on the pitch has been poor in the Premier League under Mikel Arteta. Well, this season we're seeing an improvement. It started off horrifically, but with these new players coming in and gelling, it's good now. We're going to judge him again at the end of the year. But you can't say that, you can't not give him credit for getting his house or the house in order. This is professional football. Brendan Rodgers benched someone the other day. I mean, managers do this all the time. Players get benched. Kev will tell you. We don't even know the half of what goes on. And there's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth.
Three sides, yeah. One side, your side of the truth. Yeah.
Exactly. And Mikel Arteta will be judged in May by hook or by crook if we fail to get into Europe. That will be disaster for us.
Of course it will. But what he doesn't need...
It was Maddison. Well done, Sullivan.
Yeah, what he doesn't need, Soph, is his own captain looking to disrupt the ship. Had to be stripped. Had to. Had to be stripped. And he's handled it perfectly. Now, there was still going to be a problem, Sophie, whether the team responded or not. But wow, Sophie, our best game of the season and the team responded.
They did after adversity. I don't think he's humiliating Aubameyang. I think Aubameyang humiliated himself, to be quite honest with you. Come on.
Arteta has to deal with the press all the time, and they're going to be asking him questions. He ain't even going into no long narrative about what's going on with Aubameyang. So he's got to tell it like it is, because he's going to get asked this question in one way, shape, or form, 100 different ways. And he just sticks to what he knows. This is it. This is the situation. I'm not going into any detail.
Listen, it's like Las Vegas. He's twisted the card, and he's decided to move on without Aubameyang. Now, he'll live and die on that sword. Right now, it's working out. We've scored 5 goals in 2 games without him. Martinelli has taken the opportunity, and he's like a Rottweiler. You know? I agree with a lot.
There's a whippet. I'm the Rottweiler.
You're the Rottweiler.
I'm the Rottweiler. He's the whippet. Yeah.
Now, the same thing's going to happen, hopefully, in midfield. Sambi is going to get Xhaka out of midfield, and we're going to see his maturation. But right now, just like Aubameyang, Arteta started to trust Martinelli, there's going to come that time, hopefully, where Xhaka is out and Sambi will get his chance. That's what we all want to see. You can't pull the Band-Aids off all at once. You just can't.
We're not good enough. We're not good enough for that.
No. Yeah. I'm not ready for that. Kev? I mean, these knuckleheads want us to go. I'm a knucklehead too. Go on and on. They don't want us to stop.
We can go on for another 7 minutes if you want.
To make it an hour, a solid hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys want to get a last minute question, get them in for Kev.
Get a question. Yeah, get a question. Yeah, Sophie, one thing I would say as well about this team is when I was watching from the side and it was second half and things weren't going so well, and I know Ramsdale's a talker, Tierney's a talker, you know, seeing how they defended deep and all defended as a team. So there was times where West Ham was starting to come into the game a lot more, and Lacazette came back right into that hole. And the ball's getting popped out and he's winning free kicks like 10 yards outside our box because he's putting his body on the line. I thought as a team, we defended really well, Sophie. And that clean sheet was as a team. We played as a team. And, you know, any little bits of luck we deserve, because you know what? The commitment shown by the team right now is special. And if you're not committed to the team, move, don't be anywhere near it. And that's what's happened to Oba. So that now is a serious requirement, Sophie, to be in and around this Arsenal side. You've got to be committed.
Okay, so you asked for it and we're getting them right now. What are your top 5? I like this question from Antoine. What are your top 5 good things Arteta has brought to the Arsenal?
Discipline, determination, youth, a better understanding for the players of what this Arsenal club is and what it stands for. I think that's probably one of the most important ones. And now there's a trust in what they're trying to tell the players and the players executing it.
Cool.
Because now the players are starting to play a lot better. So maybe that information is sticking in.
Okay. Therapol wants to know what we think of Tommy. I'm in love, personally.
Soph.
Tell them what you saw as well, Kev. We spoke last night on the phone about this. It's so cool.
Yeah. Listen, Tommy Yasu, he done an interview after the game and he was stood not too far from us. And he's just goes about his business nice and quiet, he's just not bothered. But when he crosses that white line, and you've heard me say it many a time, many of you have called me deluded Campbell, haven't you? You remember? Let me tell you something. When that boy crosses that white line, Sophie, talk about commitment, talk about toughness, talk about Arsenal not having to worry about a right back, Sophie. How many years have we been worried about our right back? Now we've got a right back. It never gets mentioned, Sophie. We don't even mention any problems at right back.
No.
Why? This guy has come in, and you know what? He's so good both-footed. He's two-footed. He can pass just as well with his left as he can with his right. So that kind of gives him even more opportunities because he gets the ball onto his left and he plays balls with balls up from his right to his left and he plays ball. Sophie, he's been sensational. I think he's a top player.
He's like a silent assassin. Do you know what he reminds me of, Kev? He's like Clark Kent in the newspaper, right? Before the game. And then he crosses that white line and he turns into Superman. It's like...
He's got the S on his chest.
Let's get a few more in here. This is Kev time, by the way. Kevin, where do you see us finishing in the table this season?
Like I said at the start, I think we're going to finish 5th. I think we're just going to miss out on top 4. But you know what? The longer, Ian, we sit around there, I want us to win and then be looking at, hey, can we catch Chelsea? Why not? I want to be proved wrong as well. If we could push up and get into that Champions League spot, 4th, I would love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But my prediction was 5th at the beginning of the season. I'm going to stick to that because I'm like that. I'll stick to 5th. But if we finish 4th, oh, yeah. I'll eat a piece of that humble pie.
Yes, I love it. By the way, I realized I grabbed some stuff when you did the Superman thing. And, listen, we're old school here. We don't care. There's no cancel culture on this show. I'll cancel myself.
You grabbed your clothes, did you?
Didn't realize. It was in the moment, Kev. Sophie,
it happened.
Who's your favorite Japanese Arsenal player? That's funny. Oh God, these guys are hilarious. Let's get this one in for you.
Sophie, I've got a question.
There's so much love for Tommy.
Yeah, I've got a question for the squaddies. When Tommy Yasu was being signed, did you think he would make such an impression so fast?
Are you okay? Answer that, squaddies. I didn't.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I didn't. I really didn't. I didn't. In the meantime, you can answer this.
And Sophie, his price tag looks cheap now.
Does. Look, absolutely not. Nobby says no. Mikey says yes, he did his research. Virginia says no. Teng says no. No for me. Antoine says no. Because let's be honest, Kev, it's not like people are sitting and watching Bologna and Serie A week in, week out.
True.
They're not.
True.
So Elliot wants to know if you think we'll sign anyone in January.
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we have to, Elliot. I think we have to keep momentum going. I think there's as this team's gelling, it's good to add little pieces to it in January. I think it will be good, a good thing for us. I still think at the top end of the pitch, we might need some more. I still think in midfield, we might need some more. Have that squad, have a really strong bench. And if we're going for trophies, Sophie, we're going to need a squad. We're going to need a squad because there's going to be injuries. There's going to be knocks. So let's build that squad up.
I think the problem is that no European football. I found if this is why it's so important. I keep saying it. I'm probably sick and tired of me saying it, you guys. But I think we'll sign the more experienced players in the summer, and we have to find a way to get some backup this January for sure. In the midfield, I think it's going to be Sambi and Xhaka. You said it yourself as well during AFCON. Maybe Maitland-Niles will get a sniff as well. Everyone's asking about Basuma, Kev. If you feel, it doesn't seem like Arteta's in for him. I think there was an opportunity and we didn't bite.
Well, do you know what? I just think Brighton weren't going to sell their two best players in one window. I couldn't see,
they weren't going to pull an Arsenal.
No, they weren't going to pull an Arsenal. They'll sell one and consolidate, and then maybe next summer is the Basuma one.
Yeah. And yeah, it's true, Richard. Well, it's true, according to reports, solid reports, that lot down the road were interested. And that's why we joke about Emerson Royale and compare him to Tommy because of that. Right. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Calvin Phillips, Kev, they're asking you about. Do you rate Calvin Phillips?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah?
Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do.
Would you like him at the Arsenal?
God, I'll take him tomorrow. I think he's that good, so I'll take him tomorrow. He's a really, really good player. Solid, can play, can get down in the trenches, can get dirty, but he's got some ability, that boy. And he's an international, Sophie. Signing England internationals, young England internationals, will make a difference in our team. He's got legs as well, Soph. He's got legs as well.
And he's going to be ready to leave Leeds. He's got to progress in his career for sure. I think this is the best question to end on.
It begins with it.
Do you know in that West Ham game at the end where everyone's
if you think they're shit, hit the like button.
Yes, hit the like button.
Come on, hit the like
so
button.
Good when you hear the Arsenal fans in the stadium singing "Stand up if you hate Tottenham, stand up." And then Tony loves it when she's like, "Oh my God, this is the best bit. What do you think of Tottenham? Shit. What do you think of shit? Tottenham."
That's all right.
That's Jack Wilshere.
That's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right. Love it.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Absolutely first class from Super Kev tonight.
So
where else?
You've missed me and I've missed you.
Oh.
So we had to get a little bit of a connection back. So
yes, absolutely. It's not the same without you, but I do like the fact that we miss you a little bit too. And thanks for all the videos that you sent again, Kev. Where else do you get this, Gooners? An Arsenal legend, Everton legend, football legend, leader, captain, first-class human being on the show. The Highbury Squad just wouldn't be the same without you. This is brilliant stuff, and we love it. So,
Sophie, I did copy you on. I got surprised by the XR Doge community with my sunglasses.
What was that gear they gave you?
Yeah, they gave me a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. So this is like a crypto community. It's called XR Doge and it's on the XRP ledger, right? And it's you should be involved in it because Vinny and Vespa are part of the community already because they're dogs, right?
You
But
mean these two?
there you go. Look at them. They're ready to go. Look.
Vinny
They're
and
ready
Vespa.
to go. They're ready to go. They're ready to go, right?
They're Martinelli style, these ones.
So, Sophie, I don't know if Judges was involved in it or what, but they came down and they met. This was like this was gone 11 at the pins, 12 pins. And they met me there and presented me with the Ray-Ban glasses, which are limited edition. I got the personalized case. I got with a T-shirt and a hat. So, and obviously they were doing competition about the best meme that could be made out of me with the glasses on and all that. And that's why I connected the Highbury Squad in with the Highbury Squad guys who were quite creative. They were giving away 100,000 of these tokens. These tokens are going to be worth a fortune in the future.
We'll show them. We'll show the pictures on the show next week, and we'll share it with everyone. That's pretty cool. Very cool stuff.
So it was, I've got to say to the XR Doge community and everyone involved, thank you so much for surprising me, big time surprising me, and it was a really, really, really special surprise. And I love the glasses. The glasses are absolutely brilliant. It's got XR Doge on it. And
someone said you look like Morpheus from the Matrix when you had your
because
glasses.
I had the black, because I had the black coat on. Yeah, hey, I'll take that with the new Matrix film coming out, Matrix 4. I'll take it. Definitely.
Totally. Doesn't get cooler than that. We share the pictures, you guys, next week and stuff, and keep you posted on all that type of stuff.
You know what
the Highbury Squad is forward thinking.
But you know what Vinny's what should be, jumping. He should really jumping.
I know, he should be jumping.
He's got to be jumping.
Yeah, and Matt, you're
heading it.
Yeah, Oh, we should do that. We'll get Matthew to do a couple new ones because everyone's been saying Vespa needs a GIF as well, like Vinny. So we got a hook up little Vespa as well. They're totally right. This was them lining up for their breakfast after the West Ham win, Super Kev, the other day.
Very confident. You could see him. Look.
Yes.
Very confident.
They look like Maitland-Niles taking a penalty right there. Very
chilled. Love it.
And then they saw Uncle Kev in his bow tie and started woofing. Brilliant stuff. Let's hope the game goes forward tomorrow, Kev. Fingers crossed, right?
Well, at the moment, it's on. So I'd think it'd be a difficult one to cancel it tomorrow. So it'll be difficult to cancel it on the day.
They got to stop doing this to fans. There are a lot of away fans that travel and they get caught.
Exactly.
The Tottenham game, there were fans that came from America to watch them against Burnley. And good old give Harry Kane credit. He compensated them and gave them tickets to another game and stuff like that. You know what? We do need some Highbury Squad bow tie merch. Name blocked. You just redeemed yourself. Maybe. Jeff wants your shirt. Maybe we'll get one of Kev's everyday shirts he wears on the Highbury Squad. I'll get him to sign it for one of you and we'll give it away as long as we raise money for charity. That it always has to go to a good cause as well. Well, look, brilliant stuff. Super Kev, what is your prediction against Leeds?
Listen, a lot of people think this is an easy one. I don't know what Leeds team's going to be out there. So I'm just going to go. They're going to go as strong as they can, obviously. It's always going to be a tough game against a team like that who got battered, didn't they, at Manchester City. And they're going to be smart in Sophie. So we go there. We're on a high. We win the game 2-1. And we come away with the 3 points. And Sophie, we're looking up at Chelsea. We're getting closer.
I think we're going to win 4-1 tomorrow, Kev. Just doing some light exercising right here. I'm feeling it. old school Jane Fonda workout video.
Old school Jane Fonda workout. Fling.
I mean, that's how I've, You know, that's how you keep them.
Keep them. This Barbara Windsor, that was a Carry On film. That was it, man.
Carry On Camping.
Carry On Camping. Next minute, bro.
Oh my God.
Oh, funny.
You can't get away with that humor anymore. But my God, how brilliant were those movies?
Love watching them. I love watching them. I love watching Carry On.
Gosh.
Oh
No.
man. But hey,
Taib,
listen,
if you
Squaddies,
behave, I'll give it to you.
Squaddies, as always, you've been special. I've missed you. I've missed this lovely lady, being on with her. But I tried to keep involved with the videos, and we're looking forward to. Are you doing a post-game show tomorrow?
I am.
So
Are you? Are you working tomorrow?
I am, but I might be around for the post-game show. So that could
we'll
be
delay
a good
it
one.
too to make sure if that's the case.
So yeah, leave it with me. If my work is still going on, I'll let you know. If it's not,
All right.
we can go directly after the game.
Perfect.
But you know who the stars of the show are, Squaddies? It's you, as always. And thanks for all your likes. Thanks for all your comments, good and bad. Thanks for all your opinion. We do appreciate it on Kev Says and the Highbury Squad. And you know what comes next. Wherever you are in the world, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and a good night, Squaddies. Listen, never forget. Don't ever, right? Do it.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.